born of my late father, Ambassador Etiang, and his beautiful wife, my mother, Zara Etiang. And I was lucky enough to get a scholarship to train as a pilot in 1993 with the then East African Civil Aviation Academy, otherwise known as the Sorority Flying School. So in order to fly an aircraft in another state of registry, you have to have the license of that country. So for me to get my first job, in spite of having graduated in Uganda, the qualification, yes, you have to convert your license.
And now we feel we are ready to get into what Uganda's aviation sector has to offer. Captain, from where you see things, we know for sure, yes, we have just gotten back our national career. There's been a few challenges here and there. There's a couple of opportunities that have also come through. But before we get to where we hope our aviation sector should be at, there's a few challenges, like I said earlier, you know, that are very evident in our sector. If you could speak to some of those.
I think the challenge is really the infrastructure. We could do a lot to improve the domestic environment.
Okay.
The airline itself does not fly to a single destination within Uganda.
True.
Why? Because the type of aircraft it has require hard surface runways that are long enough with the right equipment and all the support things that are needed, like firefighting services, navigation services, air traffic control, etc. So if I relate to what I've seen in the region,
Sure.
Kenya has a thriving domestic network. Tanzania has a thriving domestic network. Airfields that are equipped to handle jet aircraft as well as turboprop aircraft, which is a fallback position for their national carriers, and also a foundation upon which business communities, everyday travelers can easily connect within their country.
True.
So the challenge I think we have is to improve our infrastructure, plus also to make Entebbe into a regional hub. Personally, I think Entebbe will be the most beautiful airport in the region, if not in Africa. If you just look at the surrounds, the lake, the beautiful environment, the warmth of our people, you can make a really good hub that connects, and also the location of the country. It's strategically placed to embrace travelers from south, from west, from east, going further afield. And we have a reasonably good standing in terms of the relations between Uganda and the region. And thanks a lot to the efforts of our president. So I think we need to improve Entebbe to become an attractive place through which one can connect. Entebbe may not be your final destination, but there's just something about that airport that has to have an impact on the international travel.
Sure.
Yeah. Plus within the country, for the rest of us, and also for tourists that come into and out in business community, it would be nice for them to land in Entebbe, you get onto another aircraft within an hour, you're anywhere else in the country, rather than going through our traffic jams.
I know.
Another thing is the way the airport is managed. With all due respect to the powers that be, it's always frustrating when you approach the airport and then you're funneled into one road. You know, you have like 3 or 4 lanes, but of course security is security, and they do what they have to do. But I wish there could be a way it could be done that doesn't cause the bottlenecks. So you survive the initial checks to get into the airport. After getting to the airport, you now go to the X-ray machines.
Sure.
There are 2 X-ray machines, they'll always be using one. This is what baffles me.
I know.
So I think greater fluidity in the infrastructure. I know they can improve. It's just a mindset that has to change to see how they can deliver passengers.
That's also another, because the mindset change kind of cuts across even on so many
lot of our problems
yes.
can be addressed with a mindset change from all of us, self-included. And every day, you have to ask, how can I be thinking smarter than I am, more objective than I am, to make things better? So I think it's across the board. The other thing is the cost of fuel.
You mean
Jet
fuel?
Jet fuel is very expensive.
How much does a
I
liter
think
go for? Do they buy it
it's about $1. But to put it in context, the same liter of fuel bought in the UAE, maybe it's 50 cents. Yeah. In India, maybe 60, 70 cents. And you find that enables airlines like Emirates, like multiple airlines that are in India, to offer greater fares, to make air travel cheaper.
So maybe before you proceed, Captain, sorry for cutting you short. So with the potential oil exploration that will be happening in the nearby future, just like what we've been told by the Ministry of Energy, do you think it will contribute to?
It's my hope, actually.
Okay.
It's my hope, because the major headache, I acknowledge that the airline is a financial strain to the government, and the challenge for all of us in the airline is to make it efficient and to take the burden. The government has been gracious enough to
bring it back.
But the government has many priorities, many other challenges. So we cannot expect the government will always be funding this airline.
Okay.
But one thing that can happen to reduce the burden is to reduce the cost of fuel. And it's my hope that with the oil exploration and production, that we can get either subsidized fuel, or we can be able to buy jet fuel much cheaper than we currently do. And that will now improve the balance sheet.
That's something I've actually never thought of.
If you think about the other airlines, Emirates and most of the Middle Eastern countries, that's the advantage they have. The operating costs in terms of fuel are much less than ours. Yeah.
So it causes them to invest that money elsewhere in issues that are more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Any other challenges, Captain?
Empowering the youth. We've had an industry, unfortunately, where the elders, I hope I'm not included in this accusation, but if I am, then I apologize. We need to believe more in those coming after us.
Okay.
So the challenges I've seen is that some of my senior colleagues have had a very contemptuous view towards the young.
Okay.
Where someone says, no, that one can't be a captain, or doubting whether a woman can actually handle this aircraft and that. So, and some of our best pilots are the young ones. If you believe in those coming after you and equip them, I think then you've used your position well. Okay. So the challenge is, again, and it's not just in the airlines and that, even civil aviation itself. You find in certain quarters there are people who feel, no, that one is not ready for this responsibility.
Mindset change.
Maybe they may not declare it officially or anything like that, but it will show in actions, in the hidden bottlenecks that come up. So the challenge is for us to appreciate each other, to recognize talent and to enable it.
Okay.
And to try and leave a legacy for the guys who will be, of course, taking over most of these things. Okay. By you guys, I mean the younger generation. They're already proving themselves. So I've tried to use the time I've had in management and the exposure I've had to also empower those coming up.
That's very good.
And I implore my colleagues, my peers, and those alone, to always also look more favorably on those that are coming up. So I think the challenge is really us to believe in each other and to have a generational transfer of wisdom and knowledge. So it would be good that our institutions could have a high standard of training and produce future professionals whose qualifications are respected beyond the borders of our country.
Okay.
Yeah.
The human resource, the quality of our human resource. Are there any challenges these face?
Some of the challenges, yes. Motivation.
Okay.
So whether you're a pilot, a cabin crew, an engineer, ground operating staff, customer service agent. Where is your motivation really? So if it's how can I make a quick buck, then of course issues of corruption come in, shortcuts being taken here and there, kickbacks, and then you find that the atmosphere is poisoned, where people don't necessarily believe in the longevity of the project, but what can they get here and now? So the human resource, the mindset, I sometimes ask that internally of the people I work with, where are your long-term objectives in this? Of course, everybody needs to survive, everybody needs a livelihood. But if your approach to work is, let me get what I can, even at the expense of the organization, then it will show. Yeah. If one looks carefully between the lines, these are the hidden challenges.
I mean, there was a time social media went ablaze when issues to do with extortion, some staff were being recorded taking money from customers, minors.
It's a big embarrassment, and what it does is it degrades all of us.
Sure.
Because now, what is the perception of the country? And will that mean that a tourist will come here if he has other options? Will that mean an investor will come here if he has other options? So you find that if we can all have a mindset that is attractive, one of integrity, one of objectivity, you'll also attract the right people and the right money.
Okay.
Yeah, and the right opportunities.
Some people argued that the revival of the Uganda of our career was not a timely move. But on the flip side, some people actually say it was the right time. I don't know, Captain, where you fall. Do you think it was the right time for the revival, of our airline? And how did it make you feel being a part of that move?
I think it's timely, really, because if you see how much, for instance, Kenya Airways would charge Nairobi and Entebbe, exorbitant amount of money.
Very exorbitant.
If you see how other airlines would treat us, there's a certain contempt some of them have for you on the knowledge that you don't have a choice. So there's an element of restoration of national pride.
National pride.
Which I think is what the president mentioned as one of the motives for restoring the airline.
I should say he was right.
And I think we should all be grateful for that. Connectivity. Now we operate directly to India. Of course, Dubai was having direct connections with Emirates and Air Arabia and Fly Dubai. We're also on that route, but the revival of the airline allows more direct connectivity to the traveling public.
How do we ensure competitiveness of our career? I mean, you've been all over the place. What are the things that these other countries are doing that you think, if we as a country board, it would give us a better competitive edge?
I think the customer experience. The customer experience has to be good from the moment you buy a ticket, to the way you're handled when you check in, to the way delays are dealt with, to the onboard experience, the conduct of the crew, the safety of the operation, the honesty that we should give, the warmth and compassion we should show. But one thing I'm proud of is that most of our staff, the frontline staff, actually do their best. If they could be supported better, especially in terms of timely resolution of feedback from staff, procurement issues, and attending to challenges, technical challenges, in a timely manner. Yeah, that could be. On-time performance, we have our challenges. Yeah, we have our challenges. Okay. But we're working to improve them, and we're all committed to making the name one to be proud of. It was an amazing experience. The first one was the CRJ. So I came back in March 2019, and then I had to go to America to do a refresher on the CRJ 900. I've been flying the CRJ 1000 in Indonesia, which is the bigger version. But for the purposes of my license, I had to do a refresher on the CRJ 900. So I went to Phoenix, Arizona, did that and came back. Then almost immediately now went to Canada. So the Canadians were gracious, welcoming and warm. And I spent like about 2 weeks in the factory there with civil aviation staff, with our quality manager at the time. Even the CEO at the time came there to see what was happening. We had the ambassador to Canada at the time, and we had the minister who came to join us. So the launch ceremony was great. We received the aircraft. It was handed over officially. And then now the ferry flight was a challenging one. So on the day of that flight, we had to fly between Montreal and Maastricht. Maastricht's in Netherlands. And because of the long nature of that flight, we had to do a few refueling stops. So this was my first time to fly over the Atlantic as an active crew member. And there's a course that one had to do prior to that, an online study course called North Atlantic High Altitude Training, high airspace training. So I spent like about 3 or 4 hours on the online course.
Okay.
Wanted to make sure that I know the procedures required for the crossing. Now on the day of the ferry, we turn up to the factory. We agreed that in order for us to reach Maastricht, we had to leave Montreal very early in the morning, like at 5 o'clock. Because we were going to do 2 stops. We flew first to Goose Bay, and then from Goose Bay to Keflavik, and then Keflavik to Maastricht. So the time of departure, it was raining, it was dark, but we managed it well. There was high motivation amongst all of us, knowing that this is a historical moment. So my nerves were like, please let this aircraft behave. And now you're flying a brand new aircraft from the factory. I remember one of the NTV journalists who was there, who did a pre-flight interview, was asking whether it's really true that this is a new aircraft. That thing where we doubt ourselves.
I mean, there was a very heated discussion in Parliament as well.
But I told him, well, the city there in the factory, so you can't get newer than this. Yeah? But at the back of your mind, you're thinking, this is an aircraft that is just coming out of the production line.
What if it does not?
And I did not do the test flight. I did not do the custom acceptance. So just say, here's your aircraft. Some other pilot has tested it, but now it's you to fly it. And your first flight is now the delivery. So I just said, I pray everything works. And it went well. It went well. So we eventually got to Maastricht, rested, had Easter. Now, the second day, we did it like in 3 days. The first day was coming to Maastricht. Second day, we rested in Maastricht. The third day, we flew to Aswan. The ceremony required us to deliver the planes, I think, on, April 21st? We were instructed the planes have to be here at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we left Maastricht, flew to Heraklion in Greece for refueling, and then from Heraklion to Aswan. We had to sleep in Aswan in order to time our arrival for 9 o'clock when we're told number 1 would be there to receive the aircraft. But there's a story behind this.
Okay.
Like by the time we landed in Aswan, it was about 6 in the evening. Yeah. Now, Egyptian immigration, they don't give open arms, or they didn't give us open arms. We had like Canadians with us who are attached from the manufacturer to help us with the delivery flight. They were able to get through quickly. But when we landed, we first refueled the aircraft to make sure we had our fuel. And then now the hotel we were given was a very nice hotel, but we had to first clear immigration. Our colleagues went through with no problem. Canadian passports, no problem. They see us with Ugandan passports. And they say, you have to get security from Cairo. I'll be honest with all of you.
They're asking for these things on the African continent.
You can imagine the anger, yeah? But let me get to my point. They eventually let us through. But the thing is, we lost precious time to rest. Now, the hotel we stayed in with Aswan, the airport is west of the Nile. Now you come out of the airport, you have to cross the Nile, across the dam, go north to the town, and then get on a boat and go west again to the hotel.
Wow.
A very nice hotel. We checked in there about 8 o'clock. Even checking in, they took long for them to clear us and that. So by the time I got to my room, it was like 10 in the evening. Yet now, in order for us to be able to come back to the aircraft and make sure that we land here at 9, I calculated we had to leave the airport at, the hotel at 2 in the morning. So the challenge that day was really managing all of that. Tired as we were, convinced my colleagues, let's do this. And we delivered the planes as best we could. It was a wonderful day, the most memorable day in my career.
Wow.
My late father was there, and it's the proudest moment of my life to be able to see him being happy for us. I had the honor of delivering the first Airbus as well, actually both of them, so that was a great honor. Less eventful. We had the minister with us as well on board, and the flight went wonderful. I had support from the Airbus technical staff. It was a great occasion.
Competitiveness of African airlines with, the rest out there, so maybe on the Asian continent, Europe. What do you see? What are some of the opportunities that African airlines can use to expedite, their operations and make operations and get their operations to generate more customer satisfaction for us?
The brand. The brand is about the quality of your service, the reliability, the safety, and the overall experience. We're very young in this game. To put it in context, however old you think I am, I'll give an airline like Ethiopian Airlines, established 1946. Egypt, I think about 1933, 34. KLM is celebrated 100 years. We have a long way to go. Yeah, those are all airlines that have built a reputation. But they've also had their issues, they've had their challenges. So for African airlines, unfortunately, most of them are not profitable. Apart from maybe Ethiopian Airlines. If there's an honest assessment is made of the balance sheet, their costs are more than their incomes. So efficiency has to be there, better decision making in procurement, in choice of equipment, in the contracts. But the brand itself has to be something that is attractive. I look at Emirates, it's 1985. I think that airline was established in 1985. Uganda Airlines was 1977. So from that point of view, you can say Uganda has had a longer experience in aviation than the Emirates. But look at Emirates today. We should benchmark. We should benchmark on other successful airlines. And I'm sure the one thing that will come up is the company culture, the corporate culture. Yeah. And that's really where we need to improve.
Where does the aviation sector fill the gap for, or where should it actually fill the gap for Uganda's tourism industry, and how should this be enabled? We are talking domestic flights, we are talking ease with connectivity, we are talking about accessibility. How should these gaps be filled?
Right now, there are local players. There's, I think, there's Aerolink.
Yes, Aerolink.
There's Eagle Air.
Yes, Eagle.
Aviation.
Yes.
So there are local players playing their part. The challenge though, from a tourist point of view, is the baggage allowance. So all those operators will be using aircraft where your baggage allowance may not even be the 30 kilos that we offer. So I don't know how this gap can be bridged other than them maybe acquiring or investment being done in aircraft that can complement our aircraft. So someone coming from Europe, wherever, I want to go and see gorillas, I want to go to Para. You give me 30 kilos from Boston up to Tebe and back. So now, but my ultimate destination, like I said, maybe it will be going to see gorillas or going to another part of the country. Once you dump me in Entebbe, will the next operator give me 30 kilos? I doubt. So to answer the question, there has to be very good planning on how the domestic can supplement and complement the international.
Yes.
Yeah. And a level of honesty has to be there. Currently, the airstrips we have are limited in terms of length, in terms of the surface. So you cannot take into and out
And
of
even the
there.
infrastructure itself.
Exactly. Yeah. You cannot. Yeah, you're right. On that side, the infrastructure, no air traffic control, poor surfaces, and that. Wild animals. I used to land in Para. I'd have to bypass the runway like 3 or 4
Yes.
times. And I'm where? Ask any pilot. Even today, I'm sure if you go on a flight now to Mer, it will not be that you land the first time. You have to do low bypass, chase the water hogs away, come back, and they're very stubborn. Yeah, so
Oh, the
anyway,
warthogs are very, very stubborn animals.
like many people I know. But I think the challenge for the tourism industry, the opportunities really is more in domestic aviation.
Okay.
Because many airlines do fly directly to Entebbe
Sure.
with wider connectivity than we offer.
Mm.
So I think the domestic operators and maybe the national airline itself should strategize to providing equipment on our domestic routes that can give a greater level of comfort.
Wow.
Yeah, and then look at interlining with the big players.
Okay. As we sum up this conversation, we leave just a bit for everyone watching us, to like munch on. We have youngsters watching us that want to enter into the industry, that want to penetrate into the industry and rub shoulders with the big shots like Captain Michael right here. It's right at this moment where I'd love to ask, what message would you love to give the young Ugandans who dream of becoming pilots or working in the aviation industry?
First of all, I wish all of them well, but I ask that you be honest with yourself and assess what your motivation is.
Yes.
It's challenging. Many things we've discussed in this interview should hopefully reveal the challenges in the industry. If you're in it for the money, it's also a very rewarding career, but challenges will come that will stress you at a personal level. In terms of the environment you find yourself in, the people you find yourself in, the technical challenges that will be there. So you really have to have a desire to do this that is beyond money, that is just for the love of it in and of itself. Then I think you need to have personal discipline. Your health is very important. Your attitude is very important. And then your sociability is very important. You have to have something about you that loves to engage with people and carry that with you in what you do. Of course, you can fly cargo where you don't engage with anybody, but even then, you'll have somebody next to you that you should be able to get along with. So integrity, once again, focus, your motivation. Why do I want to do this? Passion for what you're doing. Keep learning, keep seeking knowledge. There are many apps, there are simulators you can buy, there's training programs one can look at. There's a lot of documentation, there's websites you can visit. There's so much on YouTube. You can see almost anything you want to see from different airlines, different perspectives. And there's enough testimonies out there from people that have been in this industry. Search through all of that. From the financial point of view, I pray more scholarships can come up. I pray the industry can be more amenable. And like I say, if we advance with the oil production and the cost of fuel, it becomes cheaper, then it can be easier for people to get into this career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Captain, how can initiatives like the Mbawa Aviation Media Foundation play a role in nurturing the next generation of aviators? Where can we fit our?
I think come and go on journeys with us. Make a request. Come on our flights. Make a request to the commercial, to the senior management, to the CEO. I think they'll be very amenable to that. Join us. Join us on our flights. See what we go through. What we've done now can as well be conducted on a flight.
Wow.
You can interview all of us at different levels. You can do the same with other operators as well. And you can open up forums for feedbacks. You can enjoy this journey with us. Join us on our flights. Yeah.
And I'd love to still remind you that our social media platforms are readily open for feedback, any compliments, any supplements. Are you looking for any big shots out there that we need to talk to? Do they have any valuable information that you think once broadcast will add value on to the next generation of aviators? Then hit us up, because that is exactly why we are here. Captain, if you were not a pilot, what would you be?
A doctor.
A doctor.
You made me think hard today. I think maybe I should have gone down that path.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a wrap from me, Olivia Nakalembe, right here at the Aviation Blueprint. It's a bye from me and the entire crew right here at the Aviation Blueprint. And do remember that we have been proudly powered by the Mbawa Aviation Media Foundation. We're out. God bless.